Someone is price rigging the silver markets each day at exactly 2 a.m. Who in the world is Rostin Benham? There are substantiated allegations that the CFTC has taken actions to suppress or tamp down silver prices to benefit large banks involved in short-selling silver futures contracts. And of course, the CFTC has denied these allegations. The main claims against the CFTC regarding silver price manipulation we will be discussing in this video. And when it comes to Rostin Benham, I guess we'll find that out too. Alright folks, this article definitely caught my attention for a few different reasons I will be breaking down in this video, but first and foremost, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you stack silver and you want to be updated on a daily basis of what's happening, well, look no further because I'm your one-stop shop. Especially since everything affects the price of silver, I cover everything on a daily basis. So click subscribe, click the bell. And folks, it's Monday, which means Miles Franklin's weekly gold, silver, and platinum specials are out right now. We have backdated Britannias for only $3.10 over spot. If you don't want Britannias, it's okay, because we have rounds for only $2.35 over spot. We have 10-ounce bars as low as $2.25 over spot. We have everything and anything you could possibly imagine we have for incredible prices. Email me, slayer@milesfranklin.com, or call me 330-485-6172. Now let's jump into the video. Okay, so the article continues on saying that now all this meddling and tamping has become a boon for the BRICS. They understand this happens in the West. The West has lost control, and the Shanghai sets the silver price until silver is extinct. There are substantiated allegations that the CFTC has taken actions to suppress or tamp down silver prices to benefit large banks involved in short-selling silver futures contracts. And of course, the CFTC has denied these allegations. The main claims against the CFTC regarding silver price manipulation are: 1. The acting CFTC chairman, Rostin Benham, okay, that's who he is, confirmed the agency took steps to cap the price of silver, which is described as an unusual comment for a regulator to make. Number 2, a letter was sent to Benham questioning his comments about, quote, tamping down and controlling the silver price and volatility. 3, there are accusations that the CFTC has ignored evidence of manipulation in the silver market by large traders with substantial short positions in silver futures, despite receiving thousands of complaints over the years. Number 4, it is claimed the CFTC has turned a blind eye to allow banks like JP Morgan to suppress silver prices through practices like spoofing and triggering stop-loss orders. Let me pause right there. What do they mean by spoofing? Well, JP Morgan, and we use JP Morgan as the mascot because they are most notably the ones being caught for this and fined. I mean, 3 of their employees got sent to prison. Well, 2, another one for racketeering, but I guess that charge got dropped. So 2 got sent to prison. You can look them up. The most notable one, his name's Michael Nowak. They also got a $920 million fine pegged to that. When I say prison, we're talking actual prison. Now, JP Morgan has been caught spoofing, which I'll explain what that is in a second. They've gotten caught spoofing time and time again. I've covered maybe 3 instances since I've been covering daily silver news on this channel. When I first started, it was a slap on the wrist. I'm talking a minimal fine. And no one had any consequences whatsoever. And when you're slapping a bank with a couple $1 million fine, and I'm talking literally just a couple $1 million, they're not going to think twice about doing it. But when you actually put someone in handcuffs and put their life in jeopardy, where they will actually be getting sent to prison, it might make them think twice. I'm sure those 2 just got thrown under the bus, and it probably wasn't just them. Actually, some WhatsApp leaks got published as well from these people doing this, and it was disgusting the way they would brag about it, like watch what I'm about to do on Friday, or etc. Like, they actually showed all the messages. But the point is, spoofing is a way to trick the market into doing whatever you want to your liking. And it's not the typical way that you would assume. It's actually using the influence of others to make decisions for you. What do I mean by that? Well, you're allowed to place false buy or sell orders on the exchanges and cancel them. And that's essentially what spoofing is. Wait, but Slayer, you just said they're allowed to. Yeah, exactly. And that's why this is such an interesting type of manipulation. What they will do is place like thousands of buy or sell orders, millions upon millions of dollars, and they will cancel the order before it goes through, right before it goes through. But not everyone else on the exchange knows that those orders are going to be canceled. They assume that those are real orders, so there's a lot of volume on the exchange, yet it cancels before it goes through. So everyone else on the exchange is saying, oh, okay, there's a whole bunch of silver being bought up or sold. Then they, in return, start doing things with their money, assuming that the market is something that they have no idea is actually not true. So they will be able to leverage that to their advantage and then cash out because they know what is actually going to happen, not what these other traders think is happening, but actually isn't. It's a very it's a very messy situation because remember, you're allowed to cancel buy or sell orders. So how can you catch someone with ill intent to do so? Where you have to look at patterns and backdate. And they've gotten caught, not only JP Morgan, the Merrill Lynch and also the Dutch Bank has also been caught spoofing, but JP Morgan has been caught several times, and this is backdating decades. So number 5, while the CFTC closed an investigation into silver market manipulation in 2013, stating there was no viable basis for an enforcement action, critics argue the agency did not properly evaluate the evidence or fundamentals of the silver market. Number 6, however, the CFTC has maintained that its investigations and market surveillance did not find sufficient evidence of manipulation to bring enforcement actions related to silver prices. Number 7, the agency has brought cases against individual traders for spoofing and manipulation of precious metals futures, but has not implicated itself in directly suppressing silver prices. There are persistent allegations from critics that the CFTC has acted improperly to tamp down silver prices at the behest of large banks, and the CFTC has denied these claims and stated its investigations did not substantiate manipulation of the silver market. So who is rigging the silver markets each day at 2 a.m.? Okay, so let's look at this. How do the banksters push them both down, gold and silver at the same time? And you can see things like this. A lot of people will ask me, because I'll show a silver chart, and a lot of people ask me, what happened on Friday, or what happened Monday? All of a sudden, within just a very short time frame, just the markets just tank or skyrocket up and then just go back. Like if you won't catch it if you're not looking for it. It's very subtle and it's for very, very short instances at a time. I actually have a gentleman that emails me a screenshot of every time it happens. Like, he must be constantly watching the markets because he will screenshot every time. He'll send me another email, Slayer, look, it happened again. And you will just see like a massive spike out of nowhere and then right back down. Like, that's what this is. And then you can see right here, select all the silver charts with COMEX opening hours. See what it does? That's people profiting. India imported more silver in the first quarter of 2024 than it did in all of 2023. As of yesterday, COMEX reports that it has 62 million troy ounces of registered silver, if you believe it. And yeah, that's a whole separate video. India alone has imported 134 million troy ounces of physical silver this year. Theoretically, India can take COMEX registered silver to zero in less than 2 months, which is actually pretty insane. I mean, if you think about just India, and actually India took the #1 spot of the most, or the country that consumes the most silver. It was China, but India just blew them out of the water this year. Okay, now it says, heads I win, tails you lose. So the U.S. banks, CFTC, tamps giving Reddit apes and Silver Academy subscribers cheap silver and gold, right? I guess I can't complain about that right now. So the U.S. banks, CFTC tamps giving BRICS cheap silver and gold. Banks will go bust. Public will bail them out. Their profits are privatized. Their losses are socialized. Thank you, Rostin Benham. And yeah, actually, and that's the thing is, this guy exposed it all, right? A letter was sent to Rostin Benham questioning his comments. Because remember, the acting CFTC chairman, Rostin Benham, confirmed the agency took steps to cap the price of silver, which is described as an unusual comment for a regulator to make, right? Usually they will hide behind the lies, but this guy actually came out and he said, or he confirmed, that it's true. He said it's true, which is very crazy, right? So by your past actions, it is no matter of a wonderment that you work for the U.S. government. Okay, so here's the editor's note. The Peter Principle refers to the tendency for employees to, or in a hierarchical organization, to be promoted to their level of incompetence. In the context of government, it suggests that individuals may rise through the ranks and be promoted to positions for which they are ill-suited or lack the necessary skills and competence. Specifically, in relation to government and incompetent officials, Peter Principle implies the following. 1, competent employees in government are rewarded with promotions to higher levels of responsibility. Number 2, as they're promoted, the skills required for success at each new level change and become more complex, such as political acumen, strategic thinking, or managing larger teams. 3, eventually these employees reach a level where their skills and abilities are no longer sufficient to perform competently in the new role. Number 4, however, due to factors like seniority, tenure, or lack of performance evaluation, they tend to remain in that position of incompetence without being demoted or fired. Number 5, this leads to key government positions being occupied by individuals who are not fully capable of executing the duties required, resulting in inefficiency and poor governance. That's actually, I can agree with that, actually. I'm sure that happens. I'm sure that's not exaggerated. I'm sure this is actually what happens. That's the only way it could happen and be a level of corruptness without getting exposed too much, which is also why Rostin Benham they said it wasn't a regular, how did they word that? They described this as an unusual comment for a regulator to make, right? Because most would keep this hidden. So the Peter Principle suggests that the natural progression of promotion in government hierarchies inadvertently leads to incompetent people occupying influential roles for which they lack the requisite skills and qualifications. Overcoming this requires robust performance evaluations and avoiding promotions based solely on success in previous roles. So here are some of the citations. If you guys wanted to check this out, there's 4 different ones that you can check out. There's also some very interesting articles. I really wanted to cover this one, but knowing that I have an audience, I have to be very careful on what I post. I did want to share this real quick. I didn't want to share it in the beginning of the video because there's no source for it proving this, but this article says, mark your calendars for June 9th. The end of the US dollar is the global reserve currency. Maybe I will post this video, a video solely on this if I find out more information, but they're saying that on June 9th, the year of our Lord 2024, the agreement between the United States and Saudi Arabia to sell Saudi oil in USD exclusively ends. Saudi's prince has already notified that the US government, or that this agreement will not be renewed and they will no longer accept dollars. This is a massive deal, but the only problem is I couldn't find any sources, and this person even says, can someone please list the sources for this? I can find nothing listed on any news outlet from anywhere. And could I. The only other source I found was actually from Wall Street Silver on the Reddit talking about this, and even they were mentioning that they couldn't find anything. But only thing is, the Silver Academy is very, they do have pretty they're a credible source, so I don't know. Regardless, even if the June 9th isn't a real thing, there's a whole bunch of good points in this article. So I almost made the video, but I didn't want to be someone posting something, especially making an entire video on something, but I did want to mention that that is an article that came out yesterday, June 2nd. Today's June 3rd. So is June 9th the real thing? Let me know if you can do any research and find out, because I'm really curious. And folks, I need your help. If you find something about June 9th and give, it's a credible source, please email it to me, slayer@milesfranklin.com, because I really want to see if in 6 days this thing is really happening, because I want to shed light on it if it is, and I want to put it to rest if it's not. So if you guys could help, just let me know. So anyways, yeah, I'm going to wrap this video up here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember, folks, I offer gold, silver, and platinum for great prices. You guys want some Buffalo rounds, $235 over spot. You guys want something else? I got it for cheap. Slayer@milesfranklin.com, or call me 330-485-6172. And always make sure to subscribe and have an incredible day. Thanks for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.